I never thought a single sentence could hurt this much. We were sitting at the dining table on a quiet Sunday afternoon. The house was calm, almost peaceful. My daughter Sarah was scrolling through her phone, half listening as I talked about how tired I felt lately. Then she looked up and said it casually to casually. "You know, Mom, my mother-in-law did it all alone. Like you." The room went silent. She didn't raise her voice. She wasn't angry. That made it worse. I smiled faintly, nodded, and said nothing. But inside me, something cracked. The weight behind silence I raised Sarah mostly on my own. Her father didn't leave us completely, but emotionally, he was rarely present. He worked long hours, traveled often, and when he was home, he was exhausted. So the responsibility of parenting, nurturing, worrying, sacrificing most of it, fell on me. I worked part-time jobs. I skipped meals so she could eat better, and wore the same clothes for years so she could have new ones. I stayed awake during her fevers. I cried silently when bills piled up. But children don't see sacrifices. They see results. And somehow, in her eyes, I hadn't done enough. She built everything herself later that evening, Sarah continued. My mill raised 3 kids. Her husband passed away early. She managed a business, built a house, paid for their education. She's so strong. I listened quietly. She wasn't wrong. Mother-in-law was impressive, but comparison is a dangerous thing. Everyone's story is different. Everyone's pain is different. Everyone's strength shows up in different ways. Still, I nodded again, and again, I said nothing. The night I couldn't sleep that night, I lay awake staring at the ceiling. Her words replayed over and over. Unlike you, was I really that weak? Had I failed her? Did all my efforts mean nothing? I remembered nights I held her while silently panicking about rent. Mornings I smiled even when my heart felt empty. Days I pretended to be strong because I had no choice. I didn't build a business. I didn't buy a big house. But I built her, or so I thought. Decision I never planned the next morning. Something inside me shifted. I realized something painful but true. I had spent my entire life explaining myself through silence, and silence had cost me my worth. So I decided, not out of anger, but clarity, that I would finally speak. A conversation that changed everything. I invited Sarah over for tea. She arrived cheerful, unaware of the storm I had survived inside. We sat down. I took a deep breath. "Sarah," I said softly, "you're right. Your mill did a lot. She is strong. I respect her." She smiled, relieved. Then I continued. "But let me tell you something you may never have noticed." She looked up. "When your school fee was due and I didn't have the money, I sold my gold bangles. You never knew." Her smile faded. "When you wanted piano lessons, I worked night shifts and told you I enjoyed them." She swallowed. "When your father and I were struggling, I protected you from the truth so you could feel safe." Her eyes filled with tears. "I didn't do everything alone," I said calmly, "but I did everything I could with what I had." The truth children rarely see. I wasn't accusing her. I wasn't asking for praise. I was simply telling my truth. "You saw your MIL's strength because it was visible," I said. My strength was quiet. Silence filled the room again, but this time it felt different, heavier, honest. Her reaction, I never expected this. Sarah started crying. Not polite tears, not controlled tears, real ones. "I didn't know," she whispered. I thought you had it easier." I reached for her hand. "No mother has it easy," I said. "Some just hide it better." She hugged me tightly like she used to when she was little. "I'm sorry, Mom," she said. "I never meant to hurt you. Healing isn't loud." That moment didn't erase years of misunderstanding, but it opened a door to honesty, to respect, to healing. Children grow up thinking strength looks one way. They forget that survival itself is strength. What I learned as a mother, I learned that love doesn't mean staying silent forever. Sometimes love means teaching, even your own child. I learned that comparison steals gratitude, and that quiet sacrifices deserve acknowledgement too. Most of all, I learned that being strong doesn't mean being seen, it means enduring. To every mother reading this, if your child ever compared you to someone else, if your sacrifices went unnoticed, if your strength was questioned, know this: you were enough. You are enough. And your story matters, if it was told in whispers instead of applause. And to my daughter, she never expected what came next. Not anger, not distance, but truth. And sometimes, truth heals more deeply than silence ever could.